Hey, what's up? Coach Myers. Welcome to my kitchen and another edition of Max Effort Muscle Meals. Now, on these Muscle Meals episodes, there's three things that I like to do. Number one, I like to teach you how to cook. Number two, I like to eat the food when I'm done showing you how to cook, obviously. And the third thing I really like to do is solve a problem. Okay, I get to identify some problem that you have and help you solve that problem, find the answer, by me teaching you how to cook whatever it is we're cooking that day. So today, I'm going to teach you how to make a new kind of power bowl / breakfast bowl. And the problem I'm going to help you solve is, how do you have a breakfast bowl whenever you're trying to eat low carb? You know, most breakfast bowls, you know, kind of the base of the bowl is either going to be, you know, quinoa or rice or, you know, fried potatoes. You know, and I love the quinoa bowls. I make those a lot. But how do you have a breakfast bowl when you're trying to really eat low carb? And the answer is, rather than doing fried potatoes, we are going to chop up and fry cauliflower. That is going to be the answer to your problems right now. Let me teach you how to make this. We're going to take the cauliflower, we're going to chop it up nice and fine. We're going to fry that with some garlic, some red onion, a little bit of hot peppers. And then once that's cooked down and it's almost, you know, it'll have like kind of a similar, you know, texture and also kind of flavor profile as fried potatoes, and then it'll kind of take on whatever flavor that you cook it with. So, you know, it'll kind of have like a garlicky taste. We're gonna add some parsley, some salt, cook it in the olive oil. When that's almost done, we're gonna add some chicken sausage that's already cooked. We just chop it up, throw it in there. We're gonna top it with some eggs. Boom, let's get this one going. All right, so the first thing with our cauliflower is we gotta get kind of that core and the leaves out of there. So you're gonna take your knife. We're gonna kind of cut around this, like making a square. Don't tell Julie I'm making a mess. There's already leaves all over the floor, right? And once we get that, we can kind of break off the big pieces and we'll give another little chop in there. Whoa! Cauliflower down. All right, there we go. We got that core. We can just get rid of that. Rid of these little pieces. Now we're going to take your knife and we're just going to kind of chop this stuff up nice and thin. Now, since we want this to kind of have the consistency of of a potato, what I'll do too is after I've sliced it, if there's big pieces like that that are kind of staying intact, I'll just turn it once, give it one good, give it one good slice right in the middle. Because remember, we want to kind of trick ourselves into thinking that we're eating fried potatoes when we eat this power bowl. We don't want mentally, you don't want to feel like you're eating cauliflower. Now before I chop the rest of the vegetables, I'm going to get my skillet hot. I'm going to set that up to medium high and throw some olive oil in there. And don't be shy on the olive oil. I'm going to give it a good bit. go. Now for this recipe, we're going to use 3 cloves of garlic. This garlic is from my garden, by the way. Probably one of the easiest crops to grow is garlic. And it'll be time for me to replant it here in October. Just kind of cut the ends off like that. If you're having trouble getting the outer shell off, you're just going to take the flat edge of your knife, press down on it slightly, and then that's going to allow that peel to come right off there. Oh. Now once we get the garlic unpeeled, we're gonna slice it up pretty thin, and then I like to actually put it in the pot or in the skillet before anything else once the oil's hot, so that way the oil will kind of get infused with that garlic flavor. Now it'll still do that if you put it in later, but just kind of a good way to make sure right off the bat that that olive oil has a good garlic flavor to it. Plus too, once that starts sizzling in there, then you know the oil's hot enough. Now, one of the hardest things about making this cauliflower bowl is not making a huge mess. So look at all this little piece of cauliflower once you chop it up. So it's kind of tough to get it all in there without getting some of it, you know, on the floor on your stove. But I'm trying, Joel, I promise. Alright, we're going to let that cook. We're going to chop up this onion. Set it off real quick. Now you can go with any onion. I like to use a red onion on this, just because then it kind of gives you a little bit of color contrast with the you know, the white of the cauliflower and of the eggs. But any onion will do. Now you want to make sure when you dice your onion up, you have a little bit smaller pieces, because you don't want your onion pieces to be, you know, bigger than the cauliflower. Those cauliflower pieces are pretty small. So we're gonna, and we chop the ends off, we chop it in half, we took the skin off the outside. Slice it that way. We get our half wheels, turn it. Once you get down to where it's getting kind of tall, that's when you're going to tip it over. Well, there's many ways to do things. There's right ways. There's usually a couple wrong ways. This right here is the best way to cut an onion. Now you can go with any type of pepper. You can go with a bell pepper if you want. We're going to use some banana peppers. See if they got any heat to them. Yeah, they got a little bit of heat. You can take the seeds out if you want. I just leave them in there, you know? And I'm going to go like this, kind of cut down the middle. Now before we cover it up, we're going to kind of mix it up real well. usually put a little more olive oil in there too. Now this cauliflower is going to be kind of sub for, you know, like a garlic parsley potato. So we're going to add, let's say, about a palm full of dried parsley. And I don't like to dump it all in at once. I'm going to dump about half of it. Stir it up. And the other half. Stir that around real good. Need some salt. Salt it once. Stir it up. Salt it again. Now we got to cover it. We're going to turn it down to medium once we cover it. Let it cook down a little bit. We'll take the lid off every 3, 4, 5 minutes or so. Give it a stirring real good. Make sure it's not really sticking on the bottom. And then we just got to wait till that cauliflower softens up and it really cooks down, and then we'll be ready for the next stage. And now you can tell it's starting to get kind of consistency of fried potatoes. It's broken down a good bit. Our onions are translucent. So now is going to be time we're going to want to add the sausage, which is pre-cooked, and then we're going to fry some eggs and put it over top of it, and then it's going to be time to eat. I like to kind of move everything over to one side a little bit so we can throw that sausage down there and kind of let it get fried up a little. And then once it's got a little texture to it, we'll mix it around with the rest of it. Now you can either wait until the cauliflower base is done and then use that same pan to fry your eggs. I like to just kind of let it keep cooking down and then just fry the eggs in a different pan. So I kind of move that to the back burner. Boom, eggs on the front burner. And now you can tell it's starting to get kind of consistency of fried potatoes. It's broken down a good bit. Our onions are translucent. So now is going to be time we're going to want to add the sausage, which is pre-cooked, and then we're going to fry some eggs and put it over top of it, and then it's going to be time to eat. We have our imitation potato base, aka cauliflower. So there we go, the power breakfast bowl kind of reimagined. You know, you're gonna trick yourself into thinking you're eating parsley and garlic potatoes. It's cauliflower, low carb, nice and healthy. We got the chicken sauces in there, the eggs over top. I can't wait to chow this one down.